What's up, y'all? It's the world famous.
You're listening to The Darren Green Show.
Right here.
Welcome again to another great episode of The Darren Green Show. I am your humble host, Darren Green. And I'm joined by my co-host, Derek Dahl.
What's up?
How are you?
Doing well. Happy Friday.
Yes, happy Friday. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button if you have not already on iTunes, wherever you get your podcasts. Follow me at TDGS Media on Instagram and Twitter. Subscribe to the YouTube page. Tap that bell to get notified. Subscribe to the Patreon page. Hey, for $2, you get access to ad-free viewing and more. All this information is in the description. And I just want to say thank you so much to the new subscribers that we've gotten in the course of this week. I am so excited and just happy that, people are, finally seeing us. We're here. Shout out to the people that liked and commented on our post that we did about Cardi B, how she followed the Nicki Minaj topic or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And my recent interview with Blessing Makosha, it was, I was so surprised. I'm like, oh, all these views. Yeah. So thank you so much for the, listeners,
Good job. I think they broke 1,000 views each, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then that's good. So congratulations on that.
Yeah, yeah, it was. How was your week? I'll let you go first.
It was fine. It was a week.
You say
it went by kind of fast, actually.
Uh-huh.
Nothing really major.
Yeah, I feel like the weeks are going a little faster.
Once the sun started coming out, then time just seems to speed up.
Right. Oh my goodness.
But
well, my week was what?
Your week was what?
My week was actually eventful for the first time because how I'm always on here saying, "Child, I ain't do nothing but classwork and prepping for the show." But I did. For those who don't know, and hey, check it out. I did an interview with the YouTuber, content creator, Blessing Makosha. She's she's from the UK. I mean, she's she talks a lot about rap culture and stuff like that pertaining to Nicki Minaj and other female rappers. And I sat down with we went on live together and was I was asking her some questions, and she said a lot of great, insightful things. And then later that week on Wednesday, I came on to her show. And we were talking about appropriation of Christianity in hip hop as it pertains to Nicki Minaj doing it, and now Lil Nas X doing it with "Call Me by Your Name." So we made a connection with that and how these two artists receive backlash for it. And what does this say about the state of music and stuff like that? But like I said, please, if you haven't already, look at it. It's a really good conversation, and I had a really good time this week. And also. I'm always this week is just crazy. I have a new podcast that's going to be on the Green Radio roster as officially now. You can check it out. It's called First Things First, and it's hosted by one of my good friends, Destiny Matthews. I'll be posting about that on my social media a little soon. I'm just happy.
Good. Sounds like a very productive week.
Yeah, it was a productive week. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Very good. I feel like you and I switched places this week. It was just literally me recharging and on some other projects that I have coming up. What happened? What did happen this week though? I think I went to a hockey game on Sunday.
Oh Lord!
New Jersey Devils had their Pride night, and I went to that. And I think the day after our show, I got a massage.
Oh, well, that's good. Look, let me tell you something.
Yeah, it's been
care is the best. I mean, you was just relaxing.
Who? Huh?
You was just relaxing this week. It was a relax.
I don't know. I worked this week. But I was very productive, but it wasn't. I wouldn't call it eventful.
Oh, okay.
The world was still full of events. Let's jump into those. What's going on there, Darren?
Well, we got to talk about
tea.
Huh? But I don't know if it's tea just yet, but it's just current news. Durant Wright.
Who? Dante Wright?
Dante Wright. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry about the name. I'm crazy the names today. Yeah, well, we heard about it. You heard about it?
I did. How about the one that was shot by the lady who thought she was using a taser?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Well, he was killed by the officer Kim Porter during a routine traffic stop in
Kim Potter.
Kim Potter. Did I say Porter?
Yeah, like that's Diddy's ex.
Child. Maybe she's talking about me. But she had stopped him at a routine traffic stop in Minneapolis, and I guess he was trying to get away. I seen the actual video, and he was trying to get away, and I guess she tried to grab for her taser, but she ended up grabbing her gun, and unfortunately she shot him, and he eventually died. So she claimed that it was an accident and that she meant to grab the gun, and she was initially charged with second-degree manslaughter. Are we surprised?
Are we surprised by what? About the charge or the shooting itself?
No, not the shooting, but I guess the charge.
Not really. I'm not surprised by it being labeled with that particular charge. Her claiming that it was an accident would mean that she didn't have intent to kill.
Mm-hmm.
So, it just depends on how the facts of the case roll out, and if the jury sees this as another example of, let me say, it's not even excessive force at this point. It's just like rampant incompetence of the police.
Right.
That's what it would be racked up to if she really did make the mistake.
And I could see if he was on the aggressor side, he was trying to get away. It's like, I'm running away and you gonna shoot me. Like, it's like, we can't do nothing.
Taser.
And then you seen the picture with Maxine Waters. She had the difference of a taser
and the taser gun on the whole other side of the body.
Yeah.
So it's like you would have had to reach across yourself to get a taser. If you're reaching for a taser, you reach for your gun. Your gun was on your, like, you know where your gun is. She wasn't a new officer. She wasn't just on the.
Yeah, she worked here for like what? She worked as an officer for like what, 25 years?
Right. So it's just like, come on.
It's like we like, yeah, and we seen the body cam. It did appear that you may have, made the mistake, in quotes, what I'm saying, air quotes. But girl, we know what it is. And she got second degree. She was charged second degree manslaughter. I mean, what is that? What, 10, 15 years?
Something like that. It's gonna be whatever the judge decides. I think I'll look up what the maximum is though, but the judge will be able to decide how many years if she goes to prison or not.
Child, it's a whole mess.
Have to wait to see. I guess it's sad to get our hopes up in these kind of cases.
Mm-hmm. It is, and I hate to see that this kind of stuff is like still happening. Like when they ran down the list of all the situations where all the police genocide events that happened last year, like I'm like, damn, where are that many people? I didn't even notice. Like, but that's the crazy part, and it's just, I don't know,
Well, prayers to the Wright family,
and
we hope that justice will prevail.
Right.
What else going on in the world? Is there any news?
Yeah. We had to get dark a little bit in the beginning because we gotta do the news, gotta do some form of news. Lizzo. Earlier this week, Lizzo posted a video of a fan on TikTok who posted a Stitch video asking if people would want to trade places with someone that is on the heavier side than them. She gave an emotional response to a question that many weren't expecting, and this is essentially what she had to say. Let me share the screen.
Somebody who's on the heavier side.
I'm glad she asked because this is giving me very much when that sociologist Dr. Jane asked that room full of white people, raise your hand if you want to be treated like how black people are treated in this country, or raise your hand if you would wake up and be black tomorrow. And nobody raised their hand, and that's because they know that there's some systemic bullshit that happens to black people that does not happen to them and will never happen to white people. So, yes, if I asked you right now, have you been shamed? Yes, you've been through a lot. Yes, it sucks being a person in this society because we have to go through so much to love ourselves. But would you switch places with a fat person's body tomorrow? You would not, because you know that there's a whole system that oppresses fat people that you do not experience and that you will never experience. So let's remember body positivity. Yes, we want to end harassment and shame, but we also are working to dismantle a system that oppresses fat people.
Would you wake up?
Well, I mean, she has a point. Oppression?
That's a very strong term.
Well, I don't want to, undermine that. I mean, I'm pretty sure there are, in many ways, you probably didn't get the job because you're a certain weight. That's a thing too. That's where I think when I hear oppression against bigger people,
discrimination.
Oh, there's definitely jobs that don't hire people because of their size. We can definitely. I don't have any statistics on me on the fly, but but there's definitely some cases that I've seen people. I didn't get the job because they said, "Oh, I was too big," or I didn't have or I don't know, whatever the case may be. And I think that if that, that is an issue. I think at some point it is kind of some sort of oppression, but like I wouldn't compare it to, what she compared it to, like when she was like, going around with white people want to switch places with black people.
Well, I mean, so I get the analogy because she's just saying like with the same angst of you wanting to switch places with people that you view have come with a hardship. It's the same. And even when she referred to it as, would you change places with fat people? Well, calling someone fat has its own stigma. So if you're a person who associates being average size or small or athletic, you associate that with being healthy, and you associate being larger or obese or plus size as being unhealthy, then no, you wouldn't want to trade being considered healthy for unhealthy. It logically just wouldn't make sense. And so the stigma or the stigmatization of larger people would first have to come with an understanding that there is a difference between being plus size and healthy and being plus size obese or and being unhealthy. It's not just about being big. There are people who look delicious, scrumptious, healthy. Well, I mean, they're just
Okay.
stacked that way. It's just how their body is made. But and I'm not not pro shaming anybody's body. I tell you, I don't know if you follow me on Twitter, but we've been watching My 600 Pound Life for the past 2 weeks, and
okay.
Right, and it's kind of baffling because even in the age where we do want to stress like body positivity, like there also has to be some component that like, but we still have to be pro health too. Like being healthy is a good thing. So whatever size that is, whatever that looks like for you, it's more about being healthy than anything.
I definitely I hear what she's saying when she's saying,
I would want to be bigger.
Would you trade places with a big person? I mean that's cool that you say that, but in most cases that's not the narrative with someone that's more lean. I mean, that's just, they don't want to be bigger. I mean, that's just is what it is. That's in most cases. As it pertains to the whole 600-pound life, I mean, yeah, that's cool to have that, hey, we need to promote being healthy or whatever. But I mean, I don't know, that show kind of enables a little bit, but that's just that show kind of enables a little bit. I mean, the people that are on there, they clearly have an issue, and it seems like I just have my own reservations for that show, but that's not the topic. What I want to say about Lizzo is that what? I mean, that's just me. I mean, I just have my own reservation for the show. Like it's to me, it's like Little Women, Atlanta. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if I was a dwarf, I don't think I would want to see that because it's kind of like making
what?
I mean, it's making a joke. It's making a mockery. Like the people that's on there, we get it. We love Miss Juicy Baby and all that, but like, come on, let's be.
Those are entertainment personalities that are on Little Women Atlanta. Those women.
I bet. Okay.
That's.
Well, let me not speak for other people.
Right. I mean, they're entertainers, but I don't think for now, if you were talking about being exploitative, then I mean that's what most reality TV is. It's gonna give you an inside look at a lifestyle that you aren't part of. So for them,
are people really giving those characters or cast members interventions on what they need to be doing, or you might
members? It's not a cast member. Like I think you may be thinking about Biggest Loser. I'm talking about My 600-Pound Life, where they do. It's literally a documentary style for these people who are close to 600 or 500 plus who are trying to get weight loss surgery. And part of that process is them being put on a diet, them being more active, and kind of like changing their behavior, their eating habits, or addressing the unhealthy components in their life to make them healthier, so that even if they get the surgery, it will serve them. Because if you don't change your eating habits, you're only going to undo what has been done. So it's interesting to watch, but I get angry, like the people around them, like these people can't even get out of bed and y'all have to bring food to them. So like you're killing them because you're participating in it.
You're participating in.
Right. But that's not to say that they can't. There have been some pretty ones on there. There have been some that are like, you know.
Well, I think those are. Yeah, and those people are like different. I think because they're morbidly obese. Like this is like where it's like, okay, now you're gonna have to do something because it's
love your body that size.
Somebody like a Lizzo, she's not. I mean, okay, fine. Maybe technically you can consider her obese or whatever, but like, she's
what's her BMI say?
She's fine. It's like we see her eat. She shares her diet in some instances. Like, I think people that are on the middle. I feel like I'm on the middle. I'm not. I don't consider myself like too big, but I'm like, not too. I'm not also lean either. So it's like it's people that's in the middle that are also being affected by, I guess, big people oppression or some instance. I don't know. I mean, it's a slippery. I think I see both sides in it. I see where you're saying like it could be a little bit too much calling it oppression, but like I could also see, but I can see it though because I've lived through it and people have said negative things and I have been shamed. And
I've been bigger before. I remember. Remember heavy jokes, being called Mikey and being teased about my eating habits. But yeah, if Lizzo's on a campaign for body positivity, she's absolutely correct. If you ask most people if they want to switch bodies with someone that's larger, they're gonna say no, and that just has to do with what our standard of beauty, or our beauty standards are, and how they're ever changing. So hopefully, we'll be successful in changing that.
Period. All right, let's move on because we gotta be a little quick today. Kerri Hilson, honey, she recalls Beyonce reached out to her about remember they beef.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, she was in an interview where she was talking about how Beyonce, like, I guess, reached out to her to resolve their issue. For those who don't remember, Kerri Hilson came out with a "Turn Me On" remix, and it and like allegedly, like the lyrics was kind of dissing Beyonce. And after this, Beehive was strong back then, so it did not work for her in her favor. She ended up getting blackballed. We didn't really see her a lot later on after that. And, now she said in the interview that she was forced to do it by her label. That's the interesting part. Like, do you believe it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, during that time, like, the R&B girls were like, what, Keisha Cole and, I mean, we had Beyonce, but it wasn't like a thing. Ciara, Rihanna was moving to that space.
Except you had Beyonce, but it wasn't a thing.
Yeah, so I mean, Beyonce had been out. What did Tony Braxton say? Beyonce's been out since the 90s. So
I think it's weird.
Kerri coming into that space, like, how people back it up, like you want to go, you're gonna have to go toe to toe with the it girl. And at that time, Beyonce was one of the it girls, and so she threw a dagger and was saying that she thinks she the best, but she can dance, she can sing, she need to move it to the left. She just sit down.
No, I had
need to go have some babies. Them other girls ain't worth my time talking about. So like the lyrics very pointed, like, well,
Because I remember I had to look back. I was like, let me listen to this song again to see what was. I'm like, oh, she probably was talking about her.
And then Beyonce be a diva and went on about her business.
Yeah, and I think it's weird because like, oh, I didn't even know like they were hyping up R&B singers to do diss records. I'm like, wow, it was a different time.
Right?
Could you imagine?
Do you remember the Beyonce fans were like literally through what was she at? Was she in Atlanta? She was doing a concert, and they threw she was leaving somewhere and they threw Beyonce CDs at her. They threw the B-Day.
They threw Beyonce CDs at her. You don't ever say the barbs are toxic.
Yeah, Twitter was wild in those days.
You would never do that.
So,
well, you had to make up for it because back in the day, Twitter wasn't really all that. I mean, people wasn't really on social media like that.
During Kerri Hilson time, well, people were. I mean, it was MySpace, Twitter.
A little slow burn, but I mean,
You weren't on Twitter because you were in elementary school.
Honey, don't do me. I was definitely on Twitter.
Look, the adults were there.
Okay, yeah, but I had a sneak account. Don't come for me.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, look, I couldn't have a Facebook when I was in 7th grade. Once I got to 8th grade, I had Facebook, and then I ended up getting Twitter, Instagram, all that other stuff. But like, you know, I mean, I still kind of felt like it was weird. I never thought, I mean, could her label make her do it? I mean, it's possible. They love seeing two women get into it. I mean, it's very profitable. But it just, I mean, but it didn't work it didn't work in their favor. I mean, your artist ended up getting blackballed. So that was kind of dumb.
Fans turned on her, and once the fans turn on you, then the businesses were like, "Well, I don't know, this is controversial."
Oh, well, we made a mistake, so sorry.
Right. We'd be like that. Kerri will be fine. Her new movie dropped this weekend on Lifetime Movies.
Yeah, like how she became an actress. You know. Yeah, so
I gotta watch that. It's gonna be really good.
Yeah.
But welcome back, Kerri.
So did you watch the show Them?
I did. I finished it yesterday, or before yesterday. No, I finished it yesterday during the daytime.
Well, how did you like it?
At first, like it's. I will say it's a lot. Like if you, so I had to remove myself from a certain space to actually enjoy it. Because at first I'm like, this is very traumatic. Like every episode is like pissing me off, right? Like,
yeah.
Like when is there some form of vindication, or like, are we just gonna keep seeing these Black people be like attacked, or go through all this emotional turmoil? And then, Lord, I was like, first of all, let me remind myself, this is entertainment. This is not a documentary. It's a horror movie. So I have to put myself in space. Like when I go to watch other films, when I go watch, American Horror Story, or when I go watch, Freddy and Jason, all those other horror movies, like I go into it knowing that there's going to be gruel and all this stuff. So I had to remind myself, like, this is that type of movie, but it's made with Black creators. So it's going to be different, and I'm going to relate to it differently. And I saw an article the other day where somebody quoted, they were like, well, it's not about Black trauma so much, because that's what the outcry is on Twitter right now. But like, it's like trauma porn. But it's like, well, not highlighting Black trauma, because we know that existed. We have accepted that was a reality for a lot of our ancestors. But however, the focus should be on white terror, like how they reacted out of Black people just being alive and being present. Like, if you go ahead and watch it and at that lens and see who the real antagonists were, like, oh damn, now I'm going from being angry or traumatized or horrified to like just being upset. Like, it was upsetting, and you really just wanted justice. Like, you wanted to see the Black people win. So toward the end, it came real late in the season. It takes you on the journey, but I think it was well put together, and it was a psychological thriller, and it was something that was targeted. It was created for Black folks. It's something that we asked for. We want scary movies. We want to be able to occupy these different spaces. But at the same time, you're not going to please everybody.
Yeah.
You have a group of Black people saying, I want a horror movie. black creators create a horror movie, and then you have another group of black people saying, "Well, I don't like trauma porn, or I want to see us being in more roles besides being maids." Or
it seemed like my whole thing is it's overflowing. We get it. Get Out was a really good movie. Us as well, even though Us really didn't really delve into race like that. But like, I think that it's just the continuation of this type of show. It's like, can we have other storylines? And someone also said this on TikTok as well. It's like, not to bring colorism into it a little bit, but like every time we see like a cast that's full of like darker skinned characters, they're always going through like the ringer. Whereas, we'll see like light skinned actors and actresses, they'll have like the quirky and the different type shows. I've noticed that in film also, but that's just my little take on it. You can feel however you want to feel about it, but it is got some truth to it.
Yeah,
I feel
it has some truth to it, and that's kind of how life worked for especially things that were set in that time period. So that was a real thing. The darker you were, the worse you got it. Like that's reality. We talk about it all the time.
We're doing films now that's like kind of neorealism, sure, but it's kind of I just would like to see a variety. I personally, I didn't watch it because I'm just like, it's going on. It's on. Like we keep on getting shows like this. Could we talk about something else? I mean, just like this new Netflix show that's supposed to come out now, where is this black man that keeps on getting killed by this cop repeatedly. He has to relive. It's almost like Happy Death Day, where the girl kept on getting killed and have to relive it to try to find out, like, try to get away from her. I'm like, who wants to watch that shit? I mean, like after all the shit that's happening in real life, I want to see somebody get killed 10, 12, 13, like multiple times on a damn movie.
I think that's what makes it hit a little different, is because at the same time, this is supposed to be something that provides a form of escapism or entertainment. It's harder to appreciate it in that space, or appreciate it creatively, when it's something that you're dealing with in your real life, or that there are real life things happening around the world that can mirror these actions. So it does hit different. Do I think that it's still a valid form of entertainment? Absolutely. 20 years from now, watching it, going back to watch it again, you'll be like, damn, that was some crazy shit. The same way we did for I don't know if you've ever seen what is that? Tales from the Hood. Tales from the Hood was like this like satirical, like black ass horror movie, where it was an anthology of different stories that touched on different topics. It was scary, it was over the top, but the underlying themes were things that were really happening. They talked about racism, they talked about black on black crime and like street life. Like, it was a scary movie, but it had themes that were relevant to the time and where black people were, what we're dealing with back then. So I just feel like we're sensitive right now. Like, the feelings are raw. So us having to see that as a form of entertainment, it doesn't feel right. It's like, this is entertaining at the moment.
And for me, just to give the final thoughts before we move on, it's not whether or not this show should be put out like this. If you're into it, you're into it. I think that I love Lena. I love that we have black creatives and screenwriters that are now, getting their shows greenlit and stuff like that. I think, collectively, if we want to see a change in these movies, we got to stop watching if you feel triggered by it. And I think Hollywood will definitely get the picture. So, that's all I got to say about it. We're moving fast today. Okay, we got one topic for music. Lil Nas X. You heard about him? Like, we talked about it with I talked about it with Blessings Makosha about how his music is like, people are not able to like listen to his music. Crazy, right? I mean, I
didn't experience any issues trying to get.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like,
some people believe that it was a marketing ploy just to make sure that they stayed number one for another week. And if so,
I hope.
I was just like, that's the number one song in the world. That song ain't came off that now streaming platform. What are you talking about, sir?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I was talking to my best friend. I'm like, go on YouTube, see if you can play this. Like, I don't know, because I was able to play it too. Like, I'm like, okay, this game is being, but the screenshots don't look like that. It's I don't know.
He'll be fine.
Yeah, and then the whole response to like the Republic Records response to it, I'm like, y'all sound real lax. Okay, this is y'all.
What are they saying?
they was like, "Oh, this is out of our control, and we're doing everything we can." I'm like, oh, "Okay."
Yeah, they don't own the streaming services.
Y'all better be suing.
They handle the licensing.
Y'all better be acting like this is a lawsuit, child. Okay.
Well,
I mean, I thought it was, huh?
I mean, stuff like that has to be investigated before there's a lawsuit. Like, it just doesn't pop out like that. It's like, that'd be fine.
Oh, I'm sure of it. This just was a little interesting take on it.
Numbers went up. The numbers went up. That's smart. It was smart.
I mean, like I said, yeah, if this was a way to do that, then yeah, that's genius. Lil Nas X know what he doing, child. Anyway, there's no new music that came out. No.
That's my knowledge. Not that I was looking. Oh, I think I've been telling people all week about Van Jazz. Did you listen to Van Jazz?
No.
Okay, so anybody that's out there, like, go find Van Jazz on Apple Music and play "Slow Down." It's my song of the week.
Okay.
They're very much like Chloe and Halle, but like older.
I think you could tell me something about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Got some other songs that came out last year too, but they're two female singers. Kind of dope.
All right.
A duo group.
Well, our for reality check, we're just going to talk about Real Housewives this week. Child. Okay, so we're about to get the season finale this Sunday. We're about to get this beat down with Drew and what's her name, LaToya. Let's just start there.
Okay.
Drew, she need to I'm sorry, she's a little bit theatrical for me. So you get mad at Toya because I guess Toya was talking to the what's that man called? He's not a preacher. He's a prophet.
Talking to the prophet.
He was talking to the prophet. Well, that was debunked. It was. I mean, he said that's not true, but whatever. Mm-hmm. So because that happened, you can't do this whatever event that you're trying to do for your son or whatever. And then you get mad at her. I was like, a lot of people, because I tweeted about it and I seen other tweets as well. It was like, Drew, you was at this ain't ain't that deep. Mm-hmm. It's given very much. I need a storyline. I mean, did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched it. I mean, it was odd. I mean, for people who take their spirituality serious, like sometimes those kind of things they're a big deal to them. It may not be a big deal to other people, but it's a big deal to her.
And she called her.
Like, where did you get this information from? So like,
she said her assistant.
Right. So that was her assistant, or somebody's mom or whatever. I mean, you're closer to the assistant that's been like your family, or closer to the prophet? Because I was kind of confused based off of what the prophet said when they got him on the phone, right? It's like, I know them through her assistant introduced Toya, and now it wasn't just Drew, and now he's not friends with LaToya. I mean, with Drew's family, he knows the assistant. You know what I mean? So it's like, is this really that deep? Like, in your mama a pastor? Why your mama can't bless your child?
That's right. What I'm saying. And like, could you find somebody else in that? And even if they were, like, these are consensual adults, and you sat there and just tried to sit there and say, "Oh well, he's about to get married. He's about to get married." Well, he said, "Well, I haven't been engaged in 3 years." I'm like,
right. I'm like,
Drew, what are you doing? Like, I think, okay, I get it. Like, LaToya picked on you in the beginning of the season, but like, you be picking on her for like no reason. Like, at least give it a reason. Like, she'll say something slick.
Yeah, it's a season of sex shaming, apparently.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
It. It's really
and it's on both sides, because she's considered the nieces. Yeah, Drew.
Huh?
It's on both sides. It's like, yeah, because Drew was on Portia's camp, and I guess Portia. Yeah,
yeah. Look at that. Okay, speaking of camps, okay, let's talk about these looks.
What looks?
The first look from the trailer, we talked about that.
Oh my goodness, yes. Let me share the screen so y'all can see it, because I got the video potted up.
Oh, okay.
Right, because look, let me show you.
Next time on the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion.
You keep trying to condemn everyone. Condemn yourself.
What personal business did I tell? About her grandma?
She didn't want any of that wasn't negative. She said,
Child, this is so messy.
We need some prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, anoint my tongue because the truth
Anoint my tongue, like girl.
you don't want anyone to be better. You decided to be better though.
allow the truth to be revealed.
Do you feel like you buried the hatchet with Portia?
I'll just say this.
See how they
Amen.
two people that don't sing, girl.
Is this how you like it?
You know, I always love them on their knees.
Girl.
Next time.
Oh boy.
Your family is not under the same roof. Your baby daddy is under the roof of a jail.
Here we go. These receipts, apparently.
Or what? Was in Tampa for 3 days.
At the end of the day, keep it T100. Candy told me the next day.
What Marlo got on there?
I know people will ridicule and people will troll, but a responsible woman on this platform, I'm just so disappointed in you.
Nice try, Drew, but I call bullshit.
Give this girl an Oscar.
Everything is because of Portia.
Why are we sitting here in the dungeon eating right now?
Because of the whole situation.
Because of her life.
I just had y'all tongue kissed. She went back and told the group that you were undercover lesbian.
To bring 4 years ago today to try to add and condemn me to the follow because I'm a single woman. And I can do whatever I want.
Watch your tongue.
Oh.
She's a single woman. And she can do whatever she wants.
Here's my thing. It's
and she's sitting in the queen seat. Told y'all.
I mean, I guess. I mean, it seemed like they all turned on her because it seemed like, and Candy bringing up old shit. Cynthia, I think she probably on their side too. Like, all she got is Drew, and I'm not sure if Drew gonna be on next year, child, because it's given very much. It's a late storyline, but
wow,
yeah. Anyway, they bringing back Phaedra. I heard.
Are they bringing her back to where?
Well, I think they're not to the. Well, it's not been official that she's coming back to Real Housewives, but I think she's gonna appear on. I think something about like Watch What Happens Live or something. Or something with Bravo. She doing something with Bravo.
She doing that Andy. Oh, okay. All
right. Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
You know, nice to see her pop up in the clubhouse.
Right.
Watch What Happens Live. Yes. Phaedra.
What happened? What you been doing, girl? Get us up. Right.
Well, the world of reality TV is an interesting place. And I think we have a surprise for our
yes, we do
today. We ready? We prepared?
Yes.
Oh, very good. Well, I think over the past few weeks we've been talking about different like reality shows and like Marriage to Medicine, what we're excited about. I think earlier this year I mentioned about this Chasing reality series or channel that I found. I've been watching Chasing Atlanta. They have Chasing Dallas. And last night was the premiere of Chasing LA, which is executively produced by Quinn Harris, who was also one of the stars from Chasing Atlanta, who recently moved to LA. And it was a jam-packed like season premiere. And the teasers for the next couple of shows, like I'm excited to watch.
Yeah, I watched it too last night. It was
do you have one of the clips from Instagram for them? Should cue one of those up. Today we're going to have a conversation with Jayla Jalon, who is one of the cast members for this season. She's a singer, a TV personality, actress, model. And so we're going to bring her on.
All right.
She's in the guest room. Hey, Jayla.
Hey, guys. How are you guys?
I'm doing good. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, very good. Thank you so much for being here. So congratulations on the season premiere.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
How did you celebrate last night? Did you all have like y'all Zoom watch party or what? How'd y'all celebrate?
No, honestly, at the moment I'm here in Vegas with family, so I just kind of like, had a glass of wine and just watched it and was like super excited about it coming out with a friend.
All right, very good. So first off, let's tell us a little bit about your background, like where you from, and when did you, get into the business? I know that you sing, you act, you model. Like, how long have you been at the game? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
You're muted. I can't hear you.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Well, while she comes back, see, did you queue up the trailer on Instagram?
Yeah,
Or
coming back. Hold on. Okay. Hold on.
Can't hear you. What happened?
No, we can't hear you.
I'm so bad.
You have headphones? What you eating?
An avocado.
Oh, Lord.
One of my favorite fruits. Uh-oh. What happened? Darren, can you hear her?
No, I can't hear her.
Check at the bottom of your we can see you. We just can't
we just can't hear you for some reason.
Check and see if your mic button is on underneath your.
Yeah, because that could have been the yeah.
Yeah, she's okay.
Okay.
See if you can cue up the one of the clips from their Instagram page.
Yeah, here's one of the clips that I've seen from Chasing Reality.
On this season of Chasing LA.
Hi guys, my name is Alicia Love. I am talented, beautiful, and I just want to spread love.
I'm different from this group because I'm showing you the actual ground up work when it comes to actually chasing a city.
This is my actual life. I've had part-time jobs, full-time jobs, while trying to maintain my career, and somehow I made it work.
Entrepreneur, songwriter, singer.
Let's just a little bit of the show. I think she came back. Hold on. All right, I think we can hear you now.
Okay, you can hear me?
Yes.
Can you see me?
Yes.
Yeah.
See my whole face?
You can hear you. Yes. All the time.
I do apologize for that, you guys.
No, it's okay.
Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, awesome. So what were you saying?
So I was asking, like, give us a little background on you, like where you're from, and when did you start singing and acting and getting into the business?
Well, I was raised in the 209, Stockton, California. I was also raised in the Bay Area, San Jose, 408. And a lot of people don't know this about me, but I was low-key raised for 4 years in Georgia. So I like to just tell people I'm from all over, When I was 14, I actually was signed to EMG Records in Oakland, California by a guy named Reggie, and he kind of took me under his wing. And I started singing at 7, but can you guys hear me? I'm sorry.
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I started singing at 7, and a lot of things were going on with that. I was actually dropped from the label at 15. I did my first music video, which is on YouTube, and dropped my first single. I was having problems with my mom and my sexuality and stuff like that. She was like, making assumptions that the guy who was taking me under his wing was doing something to me, and a lot of stuff. So it came to a point where I picked music over, music and my lifestyle over living there. So I was actually kicked out at 14 years old, my freshman year, and I just kept music a priority. So I always stayed in the studio and was believing in my dreams and knew that I was going to accomplish something when it comes down to my gift that God gave me. And I ended up moving to LA at 20 years old. Of course, I was another 20-year-old out in LA trying to follow my dreams. I was homeless. I was living in a car for about 2 weeks. Then I went from a car to a shelter, and that shelter is called a transitional living situation. And they didn't judge me for my sexuality. They took me in and they helped me, stack my money, and I was able to get my first apartment at 21 years old, and I've just been maintaining and still chasing my dream, since then. It's been a long ride, it's been a really long ride, but God is opening doors. I have 3 short films on Amazon Prime. The Good Teacher.
Yes.
I have The Good Teacher, where I act as a psychologist. I have another film, and this is all a Louis Dion Jones production. I have another film. It's called the Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, where I play a girlfriend, a trans girlfriend. And then I have another film called Can I Just Be Me, where I play a trans prostitute who educates a hood father to get his stuff together because his son wants to be trans, and just trying to teach him how to support his son in that situation. And them are great films, that I'm a part of. And God just blessed me with this opportunity to be on Chasing. And like I said, I'm just chasing my dream. I'm sorry if I'm rambling, but it's just going on in my head right now.
Oh no, it's fine. So I'm gonna take it back a little bit. So a little bit of your coming of age story did involve some traumatic experiences like homelessness, and I think that a lot of LGBTQ youth can relate to that story, dealing with families who may not accept them and having to go out there and do it for themselves and survive on their own. How do you feel that experience plays into your music? I know that you had a song, Love Don't Taste, that came out last year. I was listening to that earlier before we came on the show.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
But how much of your experience, your personal experience, do you put into your music? You okay?
I am. It's just, talking about it. It's just like, I was just telling my sister this morning, I was kicked out at 14, and just for being myself, for wearing makeup, to be honest. And I'm 24 years old. I just turned 24, and I woke up with a revelation of how God has just blessed me in these past 10 years and how far I've came,
And it's something you should be very, very proud of.
Thank you.
Because a lot of people don't make it. A lot of people don't make it.
A lot of my sisters don't, a lot of my sisters and brothers, we don't, we give up on ourselves. But, it was just something about me that just kept telling me that you're going to get to where you're going to get to, like I came from a very hard background with a mother who was an alcoholic, and I was abused growing up. And I was dropped off a lot of the times at people's houses, and things will happen to me. But one thing people couldn't take from me is my voice and my spirit,
Wow.
And thank God that I'm here to be able to share this with my community and people who possibly went through this and don't know how to deal with it, because I am strong. Just because I'm crying right now and just thinking about it is sad, but it made me who I am today, and I'm very proud of myself.
As you should be, and we're proud of you too. So with that being said, like the opportunity for you to be on Chasing LA, I think that during the opening, Q told us when you all kind of met each other at the park that you were the one that kind of put the bug in his ear, like, hey, you should get a group together out here and let's get things popping. So what was that like for you, like meeting him or like coming into that space and preparing for this moment?
So this everything just comes full circle. I really do believe in the law of attraction and manifesting, and just prayer works, because it's crazy. I do believe that T.S. Madison is my spiritual mommy. That's my mama. That's who, to me, raised me. I just started transitioning at 21. So I'm 24. That's who I look up to. So I was just watching her tough. And I seen that she hosted Chasing. And I was like, well, I got to watch this because, I never heard of Chasing the brand. Then I watch it. I'm like, oh my God, a reality show full of people in my community. Oh my freaking God. So I'm watching the show. I say like 3 months later, we're at a Pose event, and I hear somebody's voice that I'm just like sitting right next to me. He's bald. He has glasses on, talking to his friend. And I'm like, because, here in Hollywood is very small. I've been in Hollywood for 5 years. It's very small. Everybody knows everybody. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like everybody, we know CeeLo Green and his wife always be out clubbing in the sections with us. Like everybody knows everybody. So what was I? What was I? I'm sorry.
You were at the Pose event, and the person that
so I'm like, I look over and I'm like, hey, excuse me, and he turns around. I'm like, Q, and he's like, hey, what's up, baby? You know, he was doing something with Love and Hip Hop in that franchise, interviewing and stuff, and he was telling me about it. And I'm like, you know what? You be out here and you're working, and I can see you coming to LA. You should bring the show to LA. Like, you know, I'm like 22 at this point, you know, or 21 maybe. But I'm like, yeah, I should bring the show to LA. Like, and he's like, oh, that's a great idea. You know, we took a little video for our memories, and that was it. Like, no contact. You know, I wanted to work with him because I did hear he was A&R, and I am a singer. So, you know, I did want to work with him, and I reached out a few times. But, you know, unfortunately, that wasn't what God had for me. But then out of nowhere, I seen that they're bringing Chasing LA. And I'm like, I got to audition for that. Like, I have to. Like, I didn't know Q was the producer. I just knew that it was coming to LA. And I was like, I've been watching the show now. T.S. Madison was on the show. They got to have your girl, Jayla Jalon, on the show. So I actually auditioned. And during my audition, hopefully we can look at the audition tapes, you know, in the future. But when I auditioned, I sung. And when I sung, I just felt like in my spirit, it was going to get me where I needed to go. And long and behold, when I got to the audition table, when we did our first audition in person, Q didn't even recognize me because, mind you, I've been transitioning since I was 21. So Q met the old body, but when I was sitting at that table, he met the new body, and he was like, "That was you? It was me, baby. What's up?" And by the grace of God, I made the cast, you know, and everything just been really been beautiful. Like, honestly, the relationship that I have with Q, he's a sweetheart. He's an Aries as well. So, you know, we're really sweet at heart. Like,
his birthday is actually today. And if you're watching, happy birthday, Q.
We love you. We love you. Happy birthday, baby.
Yes, Aries gang, gang, gang. So this first look at the season, this season premiere, seems like it's loaded with different characters, right?
Right.
We got a chance to see you make your gracious entrance, and there were some other characters there that I see are going to shake some things up as well. So I'm interested. Will this season be more about you all sharing yourselves with us, like how you shared your story about your background? Like, will we get to see more of that? Because it's teasing right now, the drama. You know, the drama. The girls love the drama. But will we get a chance to kind of to meet the characters in their vulnerable spaces this season? Or is this going to be kind of like trumped up drama? Every time you all meet together, it's going to be arguing and
what I can say is you definitely get both. You definitely get the drama's there regardless. You know, what you put a room full of us in the same room, you know, like usually we get along, but we all got like the same kind of energy. It's like putting a room full of catty girls in the same room, you know. But as far as being vulnerable, yeah, you do get to see a lot of vulnerable moments, you know, a lot of breakups, but a lot of makeups, you know, beautiful makeups. And I'm just excited. I'm excited for you guys to see that. You know, I definitely tell you, you do get both.
So, are there any cliques that we should be looking out for? Like, are they going to be like Team Jayla's and like team? Like, are there any? Have you all broken off into your cliques yet? Most reality casts, it just happens that way. Like something happens.
It just happens. It just happens. You know, honestly, it just happens. Look out! All I know is look out for me and King. That's all I can say. Okay. You know, if he's the king, then who's the queen?
Oh,
period.
Period.
Okay. You feel me? So, regardless of that, you know, of the cliques, because I don't know what I can and can't say. Can't say too much.
Well, don't spoil it too much, but
what I can say is look out for the king and the queen. We definitely gonna hit your screen every Thursday, 5 Pacific time, 8 Atlanta time.
Yes. So so aside from your music, what do you hope to gain from being on this cast? Like, what do you want your message or your legacy to be to your fans or your new fans or people that are going to be watching from this season to next season? What is it that you want them to take away from you being on this show, and how do you want to use this platform?
I wanted to use this platform just to really, of course, my music, but I also wanted to show that, that we out here, that Black trans women are out here, and we're thriving to do something, better with our lives, than what we're usually forced to do, in survival mode. I wanted to show that there's trans women out here that have dreams and aspirations that are actually chasing those dreams and aspirations, regardless of the struggle that they're going through, regardless of the stereotypes that people put us in, in the box that they put us in. I wanted to show younger trans people, be you and love who you are, and stand up for yourself, if that makes sense, and you will see that a lot.
Oh, very good. I know that toward the end of the show, they did a teaser of the next episode, and I think you got into it with Alicia Love. Is that what you said?
The Alicia Love.
Yeah. So what happened there? What's going on? Like, what can we anticipate there?
Mm-hmm.
Are we looking at the battle for the queen of the trans girls on the show, or is it gonna give like the
honestly, first, we're all queens.
All queens, yes.
We're all queens, just not on my block. I'm just playing.
Okay.
I'm just playing, you guys. No, we're all queens. But things happen. Women fight. Women fight. A lot of, like, I have a big sister. She'll tell me straight up, I don't even mess with women. Like, I don't even mess with girls. Like, the B word, I don't even mess with B. But, I guess it's really off of, when you first meet somebody, you really don't know if they're being funny or not. And then we had a whole group of people we had to meet. So, that situation turns ugly, but hopefully you guys will be able to see, the beauty that comes out of it.
Right.
I'm trying to say it without saying it. You feel me?
Right. You say it without saying it.
We'll get some resolve. So we'll definitely be watching. Oh, Darren, you have a question?
Yeah, I just have one question, like, about the first initial sit down. Like, what went left? Because, like, we were all, I was watching it, and then, like, everyone's joking around and stuff like that. Then it started getting into the arguing. I'm like, oh snap! Like,
did y'all see my face?
Yeah.
I was just as confused as everybody else. Like, wait, what happened? I was sipping my drink like, what is going on? I honestly.
You talking about between Andre and King?
Yeah.
The boys will be boys. And that's the gay community, straight community. It don't matter. The boys are always gonna be the boys. You know what I'm saying? Men are always it's gonna be something where two men always gotta show who's the real man in the situation. That's how I look at it, and that's how I still, that's how I see it. Who was gonna be who was gonna put the big on top of their name, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like they wanted to make that known round one, you know what I'm saying? Like video one, round one, first scene, they wanted people to know, like, this is what it is. I really wasn't for that, but I'm also not the type to just let somebody just pick on me. And I could just say that, like, I'm not a messy type of person where I'm just talking shit just to talk shit. Me personally, if you come for me, and I know Derek, being an Aries, if you come for me, just know that I got that fire for that ass. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, we're the sweetest people you would meet, and I was trying to be on my best behavior, because you got to realize this was the first time us meeting, and so everybody was anxious, and I seen it in everybody's face. And then people hate. People see people see the looks, people see what people had, people see the purses, people just start hating on people's outfits and stuff. People just start being people and being evil towards each other, and that's how things can happen and go left. I'm all about love and light, but I will, like I said, bring that fire for that ass.
Okay.
Pretty good. Well, we're very excited to see where it goes, and hopefully we'll get a chance to bring you back here. It can tell us where we can find you, where we can find your music, and what should we be looking out for coming up from you two.
You can definitely look forward to new music videos. we're definitely going to be dropping new content, couple vlogs maybe. But for the most part, I know during the reunion, I am planning on dropping an EP just so, we can keep the supporters busy, until the next season. But you can find me at I am Jayla Jaylon. That's my name. Sorry. You can find me at I am Jayla J. And then on Instagram, and then Jayla Jaylon on YouTube.
Okay. Well, that information will be in the description. So.
And that's Jaila.
Right.
Okay.
You're so cute. You got a nice smile. I love your smile, Derek.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're handsome too. My little train in the back. I see you. And thank you. I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time out to, pick me. So we got 10 people on the cast. Beautiful souls. Thank you for picking me,
Very
Sorry
welcome.
for being a little crybaby on the show. I wasn't expecting that, but
this is a safe place. This is a safe space.
I really appreciate it, you guys.
We appreciate you for coming on. You can catch Chasing LA on YouTube. You all have new episodes coming out on every Thursday?
Yeah.
Every Thursday. And we'll be reviewing it right here on the Darren Green Show. Once again, happy birthday, Q. Thank you, Jayla, for joining us. And
thank you guys so much. I love you, Q. Happy birthday, baby.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Jane, want to take us away?
Oh, we're going to end the show. Thank you so much for listening. Hope you've enjoyed the convo. And until next time, I am your host, Darren Green.
I'm Prince Derek Dahl.
And this is the Darren Green Show, signing out. Bye, y'all.
Stay blessed.
If you like what you heard, please don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button and give us a 5-star. As always, enjoy the convo.
All right, we can end the live stream.
Are we done?
Okay, that got done recording.
So that was done for the audio. So that'll be the one to be on Spreaker and Apple Music.
Apple Music, Podcasts, all that.
Pandora, all that.
Okay, cool. I really want to say thank you guys. I'm sorry I got so emotional. I'm going through something at the moment, and it just got my mind just very emotional.